Hi. My awesome friend Bruce and I have been working on a new 3D printed mount for the Xiaomi Yi. I like other things that are out there, and other things have worked super well, but one of the most frustrating things to me was always like working with them. I wanted something that I could really easily put my camera on and off, take it off, review some footage, put it back on, and go fly, and not worry about it coming off at all. I tried a couple things, a couple just wedges, a couple just Velcro straps, but none of them felt very locked in and secure, and I would end up kicking my camera off every couple flights. So this is what we came up with. We found this great Thingiverse link to somebody who had created a layer lens that looked kind of something like this, to where the camera would, or where it would strap a Velcro strap through the top and bottom and hold it on like that. But in reality, it was kind of hard to get something to have that in combination with a 30-degree mount. So we kind of scrapped that idea and ended up turning it on its side like this. Now the strap will go across here, and it will lock it in. By pushing this out a little bit, you can still reach in and hit the power button, and you can still push the start recording button all the same. Then with this this is a 30-degree mount, we've got a little wedge cut in so that when you stick it onto the wedge, everything fits together real snug, and it all sinks into one another. So all of this can be made for, if you can do the 3D printing, you know, like $10 to make 30 of these lenses and never lose any of these screws or anything. And you know, this is going to take a hit every time, and it's going to keep your Xiaomi Yi safe and locked in. So I'm super excited about it. Download the Thingiverse link, check out the original Thingiverse link, and then what follows is just kind of a tutorial on how to build it for yourself. Okay, so my phone crapped out on me the first time, so I'm going to apply a second paint. So I add this nice little layer of black around the rim to help prevent any glare that would come from the orange reflecting on the sun. I don't know if it's going to be a problem with other colors, or if you just printed this thing in black, that might be good, but for me, I like a nice little dab of Wet n Wild nail polish. Yep, just picked this up from like a CVS, and just putting that in there will help get rid of any potential glare. And I use too much, because I don't normally use nail polish. Doesn't go so well with the beard in general, depending on who you are. I guess there's probably somebody that's into that sort of thing. Not me. But yeah, so giving this nice extra layer of black will prevent any glare from the sides of the rim. Wet n Wild. For my extensive testing, this works the best. The next thing you're going to need to make is the lens. This is kind of a rough cut. I obviously didn't put a whole lot of time into it because I'm kind of lazy, but this is good enough for the lens. 30 millimeters by I didn't suck at this. You know, by 30 millimeters, maybe 31 on each side, and that's going to give you the lens for the or the right size lens. So then what I did when I wanted to cut the holes was I just laid it over the top and drilled straight through, and that gave me a well set up lens. I just picked the right drill bit based on just kind of eyeballing it, and this has worked out really well for me so far. For hardware, this is an M2 screw, I believe. Let's see. 11.5 millimeters long, so somewhere in that ballpark. It can be a little bit longer, but not much, because it's got to fit from here to here. So, you know, no longer than 11 millimeters or so. I use a washer on the glass plate to kind of separate some of the surface area of the top of the screw, and then this nut gets inset into the back of the mount. So assembly is obviously pretty simple. Just lay the piece of glass over the top, You might want to clean it before doing this, because any leftover gunk on the lens is now going to be stuck between the lens and the camera. And then I screw this in about halfway. It's not threaded in there, so for a reason, because now this nut is going to fit right inside that inset. And then you cinch it down. Leave it a little bit loose because you got to do the other side. And voila, layer lens fully assembled. We can put it on the camera like this. Fits on there real snug. It'll stay on without a strap or anything, but obviously you want to strap it in. And then when you slip it on over this, you can see that it insets into the base stand a little bit. I might work on a second version that lightens the stand up a little bit, because it's a little bit on the heavy side, but I'm really excited about where it is right now. This is just the faceplate, 12 grams. This is just the base, which is kind of the heavier part together. You know, you're looking at 27 grams, which is on the heavy side, I think, but this is a good reusable solution that works well. So once you get all of this put together, still under 100 grams, but this thing is going to take a beating. So I personally always keep a layer of duct tape on the top of my frames, so that I can keep anything from turning around or getting loose. So I'm also going to apply just a piece of mailed Velcro on the bottom of this, so that it's there and I can mount it all up real tight so that it's not going to end up going anywhere. So the point of this whole thing was to be able to work with my Yi more easily when I was out in the field. I just wanted it to be locked on. I wanted to stay there for the entire day, and I wanted to be able to access the buttons more easily. So the strap kind of comes over this little ledge that's created by the print, locks it in. Now it's not going anywhere. I mean, I'm picking it up. The whole thing is solid on there. You can still reach in and hit the power button, and this button is still usable, just the same as if it hadn't been covered up by anything. And you can still reach the ports in the back here for the USB and SD card.